JPEG Mafia is a polarizing artist. His music will make some people's ears bleed and other people have to change their underwear. So me being in the latter half of people, I am so excited to review JPEG Mafia's newest album, Experimental Rap. Now when it comes to experimental music, in my opinion, JPEG Mafia is one of the best artists. So without any further ado, I'm gonna listen to this album right now and I'll come back once I'm done and give you guys my thoughts on it. Alright, so I just finished the album and I'm not too sure how I feel about it. JPEG Mafia is one of those artists who I hold to a very high standard because I've heard how good his music can be. And this album, while having its highs for sure, definitely is just mediocre at best. Similar to his last album, I Lay Down My Life For You, we have a lot of rock rap fusion in this album, which I do really like because I loved I Lay Down My Life For You. A song like Burning Hammer off the bat is a great example of this. We also get a lot of like EDM/techno elements in some of these songs. A song like Money, for example, I was not the biggest fan of, but I can absolutely hear the appeal of it. Hearing this song at like a music festival would go kind of crazy in my opinion. After listening to the first 5 songs, I wrote a note saying so far the beats are good and it's his performances that have been pulling down the songs. And literally right when I finished writing down that note, Meet the Dealer started playing and immediately I was like, okay, this is a great performance. Something we start to see throughout the rest of the album, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, is just how fast JPEG is rapping on some of these songs. I think it does great on Meet the Dealers, but he also does it over some beats that really don't call for it. Degenerate Prayer by far is my least favorite song on this album, and probably one of my least favorite songs by JPEG at all. Now, I'm not too sure if it was the mixing on this album or what, but on some songs, for example, Mask On, parts of the song were so fucking loud that it was actually, unironically, hurting my eardrums, bro. His Will I thought was a great song, but it was just way too short, which is an interesting thing of note because even though this album is 25 songs long, it's only about 52 minutes, which averages out to about 2 minutes each song. That being said, it definitely didn't need all 25 of these songs. I've always wondered why artists will drop albums that are so long. They should all take a page out of Kanye West's book and drop like 7-song albums that are all bangers. And then after listening to New Era, I started getting tired of this fast rapping that he was doing. Once it finished playing, I wrote down this note: might be doing too much with the fast rap. It's starting to hurt the songs more than help them. Which honestly, how do you guys feel about the fast rapping? Because I know Eminem obviously is one of the most popular rappers ever, but I'm just really not a big fan of that style. Maybe some artists are able to get away with it and others aren't. I consider JPEG Mafia to be more of a punchline rapper, similar to Lil Wayne. So when he is rapping so fast that you can't even hear the punchlines of his lyrics, it almost just feels like what's even the point? Now I like a song like Chat, even though I think the concept of it is a little bit corny. But to be fair, JPEG Mafia has stated that he does look up to cornballs, so at least he's honest with us. But I do like a song like Chat because I do have a lot of respect for JPEG Mafia for making his political stance clearly known. Now when I go and listen to an album for the first time, one thing I'm always looking for is a good album opener and a good album closer. And JPEG Mafia missed on both of those on this album. The first and the last songs on this album are both like interludes. And then if you take the second song as the opener and then the second to last song as the closer, these are still both bad openers and closers. Overall, I would say that this album is good, but definitely not great. My top 3 songs on this album after first listen are going to be Meet the Dealers, War Over Land, and No Strippers in Heaven. And as I said earlier, my least favorite by far is Degenerate Prayer. Now because this album just came out, the album of the year ratings have not all come in yet. However, with 6,227 ratings, this album has a user score of 64. I went ahead and put in the description my ratings for each of the songs. On screen right now is my rating for the album as a whole. The top 3 songs on album of the year were Yen, Burning Hammer, and No Strippers in Heaven. If you guys have already listened to this album, let me know in the comments down below which songs you liked, which songs you didn't like, and what you thought of the album as a whole. But that's gonna be it for me. Thank you guys for watching again. I really do appreciate it, and I wish you the very best. I'll see you later.